Psychedelics, I believe, is basically the sentient living teacher, like natural psychedelics, as a natural sentient teacher of the plant kingdom. Now, once you distill the essence, for example, from Mimosa hostilis or other DMT-containing plants, that you can easily get to this point of transcendence, or whatever you want to call it, this weird psychological interdimensional travel which you could tap into with these type of substances. And I've had my fair share with these substances, and I'm very glad that these things are becoming more socially acceptable, to the point where, you know, if you talk about psychedelics to somebody, I would say like 40 years old or younger, in this, you know, coming of age, that they will be completely like not too about it. They would just be all like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I probably saw a Vice documentary or two. But that's not the point here. That's not the point. Psychedelics are great. You know, they could help you, but they could also damage you in a way that you do not want to reach. Because I personally have had experiences that have broken down my psyche to the point where integration was like the most difficult thing ever to do. And if I could simply go back in time and fix those things, you know, me doing those substances, I wouldn't, but I do kind of want to. But experience is all about learning. And if I don't experience this one fallacy of my own mistakes, then I'm not going to learn shit. And that's what's interesting about this world, is that there's so many consequences. Yet, once you learn those consequences, you might feel stupid, like, to figure out, oh, well, now I got to go through this because of this certain sequence of events I did that led up to the dumb thing I did. But those consequences happen within everything. Whenever you're in kindergarten up to like first grade, you still kind of look back at those consequences. Those are learning experiences you needed to learn. If you did not, you would have probably been dead in this age, like in this century. So what I really wanted to touch on, this won't be much of a smooth transition whatsoever, but what I really wanted to touch upon is magic and, you know, the occult within the realm of the exploration of psychedelics. Now, what I sometimes wonder is how much occult knowledge comes from these plants, and how much Western esotericism was inspired by the consumption of these plants and medicines. Probably a lot. You never know. I mean, Salvia divinorum, that is a plant that is kind of like a deliriant type of hallucinogen that is kind of in its own class. It honestly, I cannot really think of any other psychedelic that is similar or unique to salvia, though I never tried salvia at all. I never tried it before, though I do want to give it a try one day, even though it has guaranteed dysphoria. Though I don't doubt some people still had euphoric experiences. But, you know, it's really good to face, you know, bad experiences on psychedelics. Sometimes it could actually be fun, but I don't recommend this to anybody that that doesn't want to take a risk, because honestly, that risk can really leave you bleeding out on the carpet of your own mistakes. The carpet of your mistakes you bleed out on, you know. But not literally. You're not gonna like bleed out randomly on a Salvia divinorum, at least from what I know, my extensive knowledge. But Salvia divinorum means divination in Latin. So, you know, this was used to divine certain knowledge that was brought back from these planes of weird interdimensional, or maybe shared existences. And so I don't doubt a lot of these plants were used to bring back all these types of knowledge. But if you look at, say, fasting is something that can bring upon certain changes and certain benefits to even the health, and to detox the body, to open the mind, and to open gateways of the subconscious. So the fact that we could do that type of stuff naturally, yeah, that's great. It's just that in the plant kingdom, it seems like there are the shortcuts. I guess on the macrocosm, it's just an accelerated version of what we could do within our bodies. It's a reflection, and that might show us that we actually have potential to do this without consuming these substances, though, you know, there's stuff in nature that we don't even know about. So we would have to explore those things in nature to get this knowledge. This is why nature in itself, in general, is a good teacher, because it's taught us a lot. I mean, at first we were just banging rocks together at trees and everything to get out wood bark, like freaking primal Minecraft. Then we learned more and more about it as we had a shared existence with nature. And nature has been a great benefit for us all, even if you do not like going outside and opening your blackout curtains. Like, oh yeah, and it's right now there's a really nice storm outside that's been happening for a good 3 days, and it's just wonderful. I love stormy weather, especially whenever I'm brainstorming. So with the plant kingdom, I believe that this knowledge is stored in almost like a memory format, kind of like a USB drive. So if you tap into this esoteric knowledge that could be brought upon these plants, brought upon by those plants, that you can figure out how to reach higher potentials of yourself, like I said earlier. So I believe a lot of occult knowledge actually has come from psychedelics. And if you look at the stoned ape theory, which was proposed by Terence McKenna, he I mean, I don't fully believe that we actually evolved from psychedelic drugs that grow in nature, because that's what the stoned ape theory is. But I believe that it aided in evolution, at least to open this subconscious gateway of the mind, almost like you're pulling something from the plant kingdom and enhancing it in the animal kingdom, to yourself and to your fellow people, your fellow species. So I guess it just really opened and balanced our factory settings until we started understanding. We opened a part of our minds that probably was not meant to fully be. So we use this part of these new parts of the mind. Well, they already were there, but they are now more apparent. By the time we started exploring that, we decided to see what we could do with this. And then that kind of put us out of balance, because we thought, oh, well, I consciously really am aware of this, but subconsciously I have weird different views with it. But the subconscious works in a way that it recognizes symbols. So anything that enters the conscious part of the mind is going to basically make a sigilized version of what you truly think about it in the subconscious in a symbolic format. So yeah, I believe these things have a lot of potential, and I do think it has a big place in the occult. Magic and the occult definitely do resonate with psychedelics very heavy, especially if you were to do like a ritual or some type of evocation. via these substances. I've done in evocations and rituals with these substances, and it really, well, you see where people are coming from with them talking about these experiences of evocation and ritual. You know, people that actually have practiced it for such a long time and always have good efficacy. You can finally see where they're coming from by seeing the potential of the mind paired with doing ritual or something whenever doing psychedelics, because it shows you that full potential of what the mind could bring into this physical world and into like an astral or spiritual world type sense. So yeah, I just want to touch upon that, and that's all really. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, leave a like if you want, and if you want to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I appreciate all the good feedback. Seriously, it warms my freaking heart, like, to see all you wonderful people exploring the depths of your mind, the occult, and psychedelics, and having either a good or bad time. But, you know, that's life. Consequences. This is Tripper's Journey, and I'm out. Peace, man. Much love.